outside, it's for the cat.
Look at this.
Wow.
Look at this. Ooh. Look at this.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Doesn't it look cool? Look at this. Look at it. Heck yeah. Talk about a heartbreak. I was looking at the cable and it's cut. It's sliced and half the wires are cut off. So probably gonna have to wait another week to 10 days. That sucks. That sucks a lot.
That was the sound of the dam releasing. Which is kind of a funny thing about being parked here because we're on the dam river. Get it? But this morning, since our internet is such garbage, I'm just gonna go out and read by the dam river like Little House on the Prairie because there's nothing else to do. So.
Don't get swept away by the floodwater.
Okay. Thanks. Might as well churn some butter while I'm at it.
What?
Like Little House on the Prairie.
Oh. Had to explain that one.
These are the jokes, Keith!
So day number 3 and still no response on my support ticket to get a replacement cord. But yesterday I took it to a cell phone repair shop thanks to a suggestion on Facebook, and I had them repair that section of the cord as more of a temporary thing until I can get the cord actually replaced. So it's ready to go today. I'm gonna go get it, and hopefully it will be up and running in a little bit. Cost me 40 bucks to see if we can get that refunded, but this is basically, you had to just come in here and redo all of that right there and then just taped it up real tight.
Wow.
But that's it.
All right.
Hopefully it'll work. Everything moved. We plugged it in and everything moved, and it was gonna let me set up a network, so
Okay.
let's try it out.
Okay.
One of the things I was expecting to deal with is obstructions and having to get this little dish up above the trees and get a clear view of the sky. So I bought a Harbor Freight pole, and then on Etsy I bought this 3D printed bracket that will perfectly fit the satellite into it and lock in. I think it goes like this, not like that. Okay, there it goes. Okay, locked in. It works just like the regular base that the Starlink actually comes with. And the good thing is it gets to extend this pole. This pole is actually 20 feet. So we can extend it all the way out. And we can keep going. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Perfect demonstration. So this is going to mount on the ladder in the back. We'll be able to stick it up in the air as far as we want. I'm probably going to have to take it down if there's high winds, that sort of thing, but cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, way better than the cell service. Considering the cell service is like 2. So last year I made a video of our internet setup, and one of the main things is this PepWave router that's installed in the cabinet here. And last year I did say that I don't think Starlink is the answer, and I still don't think it's the answer, but we'll talk more on that later. But since I have to take down and set up the Starlink system everywhere that we go, we're probably not going to use it at every stop, especially overnight stops. And in fact, all of the TVs and the computers are going to stay connected to this, and this is going to connect to the Starlink. So that way, when we're not using Starlink, all of the devices are still connected to the cell service, and we don't have to re-enter passwords or reconnect things, and everything's on the same network, and it just requires a lot less work. Now, we only have about a quick 24-hour Starlink test, and I'm actually glad about that, because then I get to take it to another spot. We'll be able to try it out and see how it works in different areas before I give a little bit more of my opinion on it. I got this flag with the flagpole kit that I put the Starlink on, and I can't put the flag on the pole because it'll mess with the Starlink. So there's a really worn one over there, and I'm going to swap it out, and hopefully they don't get upset at me. This spot has a lot more tree cover, and I actually got a warning on the app that service would be limited at certain times. By the way, this is the Starlink app, and the reason that I was twirling around and spinning it like this was because there's a feature on there that allows you to scan the sky, and it'll give you an estimation of how well the service is going to be if you place the dish in that spot. And the app is actually available to download by anyone. So if you're curious if Starlink will actually work well in your area, you can download it, run the little scan, flip it around like this, get on your roof, whatever you want to do, and see if it'll work for you in your spot. So because of that spotty service, we gave it time and tested it throughout the day, and sure enough, the mornings had a few times where it was interrupting every couple of minutes. And that's a problem if you need it for a Zoom call and you need that service to be continuous. And that problem is the reason that Starlink will not be the perfect answer to our internet needs as RVers. Just like cellular service, there are times where Starlink is going to absolutely shine, especially in super rural areas with no cell service and areas with no trees. But also, just like cellular, there are times where it has major drawbacks. Heavily wooded areas with a lot of obstructions are going to cause problems, because when there's obstructions, there's interruptions in your internet service. So really, Starlink is just another tool to add to what we already have, albeit another expensive tool. If you are curious about the PEP wave we use and the cellular plans that we have, check out this video. It's going to go over all of that.